With conference championships coming to a close, we finally found out who will be going to the big dance this coming week. With that in mind, I'm here with Zach and Christian to discuss the biggest news surrounding Selection Sunday. So Christian, out of the 4 #1 seeds, who has the biggest chance of going the furthest?
I mean, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Duke Blue Devils, I think, have the best chance. They have a pretty easy division in the East. I think that it's Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett. You have the two most talented players in all of college basketball facing off against, I believe, to be UNC in the championship game, and I have Duke winning it all. They have been unstoppable all year. This is the moment the entire country has been waiting to see. Duke in March Madness. Let's go.
I would agree on Duke. Duke's got a lot of talent. No one's really stopped them. I see Virginia Tech. I don't know how they're going to play with Justin Robinson just coming back from injury. Mississippi State, they could be out in the first round. I think Duke's got a very easy path to the Final Four. They got a great match against Gonzaga. I don't see them having a problem with that. And this little revenge matchup after the matchup in Hawaii. And I have Virginia from this side. Defense travels. I think Virginia's fired up after last year. Tony Bennett will get those guys right. I think it's the best offensive team we've seen from Virginia in many years. You got Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, some great pieces there. I like Virginia. And I'm going to take Virginia to win the national championship. This is their year. This is what they've been waiting for.
Hopefully that was in the first round.
And I think they'll shut down Duke's offense and have enough offensive firepower to beat Duke in the national championship.
All right, Zach, so we'll start with you. What's the biggest potential upset you see in the tournament?
I see a few upsets. I think the biggest one is Wofford.
Really?
Wofford going to the Sweet 16.
Oh, the Sweet 16. They're going to beat Kentucky?
So I think they'll beat Seton Hall. Big East has been very inconsistent this year. Oof. I don't like any Big East teams. And then Kentucky, they'll face Kentucky in the second round. Now, interesting stat here. Kentucky played UNC Greensboro in the non-conference schedule. It's just squeaked by. It was a tie game, I believe, with 4 minutes left. Wofford beat UNCG by 30 points both times in the regular season, beat them in the conference championship. They dominated their conference. UNCG was second best team. They have the pieces. Fletcher McGee's one of the best shooters in the history of college basketball. I think they'll make some noise. I know Kentucky's hot, but they don't really have that star power this year. That's why I'm going to go Wofford to the Sweet 16.
I have Oregon beating Wisconsin in the first round, round 64. They lost Bowl. I mean, what a coaching job to still have Oregon win their last 8 games into the tournament and to win their division title. And they're going to be hot. They're going to be a tough out. They play phenomenal defense up and down the floor. Wisconsin's they're a great team, but I think Oregon has it right there.
All right, finally, Christian, which seeding shocked you the most?
I'm surprised Michigan State didn't get #1. I mean, they are #2 seed, but they are phenomenal. I mean, the job that Todd Izzo has done with Michigan State has been great. They are first in points, rebounds, and three-point percentage in the Big Ten this year, and that's a phenomenal stat. When Duke, if they get that far, if Duke and Michigan State meet up in the Elite Eight, that's going to be a great game, and we'll see. It's a tough game for Duke to win. But
Zach, what about you?
There's a few seeds. I think the committee did a good job with the teams in the tournament, but seeds that confuse me the most is Villanova as a 6 and Marquette as a 5. Villanova won the Big East regular season title and the tournament, so that's a little confusing.
Well, they had some tough losses.
They had some tough losses in non-conference, but winning the Big East regular season and the championship compared to Marquette, who didn't win either of those, I don't see how you put Marquette over Villanova. And also Auburn. Auburn had a phenomenal SEC tournament. This is a team that was ranked in the top 10 at the beginning of the year. I don't know how they could be at a 5 seed with teams like Kansas State without Dean Wade. Kansas at a 4 has played terrible.
They have played terrible.
Virginia Tech without J-Rob.
Yeah, I think Auburn is at least better than Kansas, and I think you can see Auburn is going to go far. Auburn
at least should have definitely jumped off to that 4 line. So that's probably the one I had the most problem with.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's all the time we have from the hardwood, but when we come back, Matt will be sitting down to discuss the biggest moves from NFL free agency so far.